15 hits in one Big Ten tournament.
What a week he's had. He may move to Omaha.
Ohio State is your 2016 Big Ten tournament champions.
When we came here, we had one goal, and we weren't going to be stopped.
Welcome to another Big Ten Video Recall. I'm Kevin Kugler, joined by Big Ten baseball analyst Scott Pose, and we are also joined by former Ohio State Buckeye Ronnie Dawson, who is currently in the Houston Astros organization. But we're going to not talk necessarily about Major League Baseball and professional ball. We're going back in time on this video recall, just a few years back to Omaha, Nebraska, and the 2016 Big Ten Tournament Championship. Ronnie, it is such a pleasure to reconnect with you after that tournament where we all saw some miraculous things happening. How often, as you're grinding it through the minor leagues and trying to make your way to the big leagues, how often do you think back to that amazing week you and your teammates had in Omaha?
Man, a lot. I mean, that's one of those times that, especially when you're having hard times in baseball, you're going to have a lot of them. You want to think about the good times, and that's one of the biggest moments of my whole baseball career so far. Playing with those guys, man, it was a blast.
When you look, Ronnie, at that week going in, let me take us back before that week. Ohio State had lost 7 consecutive games in Big Ten tournament play going in. I can't imagine that anybody outside that locker room had any expectation for you guys.
Oh yeah, I mean, neither did we. I'm telling you, we were so confused because in the locker room on paper we had a lot of great players, and we just wasn't clicking at one point. Then I remember the week before the Big Ten tournament, or right when we started getting hot, the coaches came in, and it was like we had like a rain delay, and we were playing FAU, and we were supposed to play on the first day, and they switched the lineups up. They put Sergaikis at the leadoff spot. I forget I think they changed someone to 2, and I'm telling you, I can just tell like that's when like winds changed because everyone was just like, oh, they did something different. And then we played FAU that next day, and we put it on FAU, and we're like, oh, they were ranked. I think they were ranked like 17th in the country or something like that at that time. Then we went and played someone else, and it was after that it was uphill.
When you got to Omaha, you'd lost 7 straight as a program. You yourself were 0-4 in your previous 4 tournament games in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, is that something that is in the back of your mind when you guys get to Omaha? Like, I haven't even tasted a win in this city.
Oh, 100%. Because for us and we per diem. That's what we were all playing. We're per diem. So I used to get so frustrated when we would go, we'll lose the first game and then get out. And I'm just like, oh, we're losing out on so much per diem. As college players, that's what you need. You need the money. So, we go in, we win the first game, and we were like, we were so excited. It was just like, oh, a weight lifted off our shoulders for the first time. Oh man, it was amazing.
Let's start with Wednesday, which is the start of the tournament. And you guys on the bracket draw your rivals from Michigan. Michigan is the first team you're going to play. We're going to start this thing in the 5th inning because you're down a run. Nothing's gone right in the first 4.5 innings. What changed midway through this game?
Sergaikis, man, our playmaker right there. He was our playmaker all season, and he just lifted the boys up, man. I'm telling you, he did that, hit that home run. And funny enough, I was playing with Adcock. I've been playing with Adcock through the minor leagues, and he always talked about this home run. He's like, how did he hit this ball? He was so confused because it was a ball. And I was just like, man, I have no clue. But if he didn't hit that ball, we wouldn't have been where we were at.
So this is tied up. There's our first look at, you at the plate with the base hit in a 2-2 ball game. So now runners on the corners, 2 ball game, and then Troy Kuhn coming up next.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what happens.
That happens. A base hit.
Base hit. Yeah, I think everybody's just feeding off of everybody, man. I'm telling you, once one person hit, everyone just felt comfortable, man, and that's what it was about.
Ronnie, do you remember a time when you were in this game or in Omaha where the ball started to look bigger? Because you're remembering these good times because you guys were hitting everything, especially you. Was there an instance where that just kind of came to fruition for you?
Looking back on it, yes. Because I always, I get into these moments, even now, I'm like, man, what was going on? When I was just unconscious. That's what you hear a lot of guys, like, I just don't know. Like, I wouldn't say the ball got bigger, but everything around me faded away. I was just locked in. And that's what I'm trying to do now. Like, I'm like, man, I know remembering back on this, like, if I can lock in like this, and that's what it takes to be in the big leagues, if you can do it 162 times, those are the best players every year, And so I'm trying to focus that in. And this is a prime example of that moment.
So we picked the game up again, 3-2 Ohio State. Davis at the plate and a 2-run triple that really kind of breaks this game open. This had to give you a ton of confidence.
So what happened was he missed the sign. He was supposed to bunt. He missed the sign, and everyone was like, okay, whatever, he missed it. Then he goes and hit the triple, and we're like, whoa, that's the farthest ball you hit all year. So it was just funny because he was supposed to bunt us over, missed it, then, comes up and hit a triple.
And then Bosiokovic coming back up now with an RBI double to make this a 6-2 ball game. As a team, you guys hit for the cycle in the inning, and the game completely changed. You were dead in the water through the first 4.5 innings.
Yeah, man, that's just ridiculous. I just, like, looking back, just rallying up hits, man. And we didn't even no one got out, and that's just crazy to me. Just everyone's just, just loving it, man, hitting. That's baseball right there.
So now we move to the 6th inning. Here you are again, already 2 for 2 at this point. You've got a runner at first, and there's a lot of room to play with at TD Ameritrade Park in those gaps.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Hits off lefties. I'm trying to relive those moments as much as possible. Man, that's beautiful.
So one more out to go to get off the schneid for Ohio State baseball in the Big Ten tournament. And a called strike 3 seals the deal. You get game 1. You go 3 for 3. You reach base all 5 times in this opener. Outside of the per diem that you're very excited about right there, obviously.
I'm telling you, man, I was so excited. Man. Oh,
Outside of that, what did that win, that opening win coming from behind against Michigan in a 4-5 game, what did that do to the confidence of this team starting off the week?
We played Michigan earlier in that series or earlier in the season, and we swept them. And that was after the FAU series. And that's when we're like, all right, we're playing them. It's down. It's like, man, it's hard to beat a team 4 times in a row. Then we come out and beat them. We're like, this is Michigan, and they were ranked, pretty high at that point. And we did that, and we're just like, man, we can play. We can play with anybody right now,
Let's get now to Friday because this is game 2. And you guys start off this game red hot. Now, you were, of course, hot the whole time. But here you are at the plate, starting this thing off with a double to get the game going.
Man. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's just nice and easy. That's what I'm working on right now. I was working on this earlier today, man. Just staying through the ball, down through it.
Were you focusing on anything in particular, like the inside half of the ball?
Stay middle. Hit the ball up the middle. If I can hit up the ball up the middle, it's a shut down. It's a ball for me. And that's what I was just doing. And I think that's why I stayed on lefty so well.
Ronnie, do you remember – after your double, when you'd get on base, what's the motion you were making back to the dugout? What was the theme of that motion this year? We're gonna watch it again.
I'm trying to think. Man, I like to dance, but I'm trying to think.
Here, what? Tell me what you're doing here.
Ooh, I think it was a ooh kill him, little Terrio. In online. I think that was the dance back then. So.
Well, not only did you continue your hot hitting in this second game, you had a dominant pitching performance from John on the mound. Going 8 innings, allowed just 2 hits to really get you guys in good position in game 2.
Oh, yeah, man. However, he was nasty. I hated facing him. We'll have him in the fall, and it's just like lefty. And it just, it wasn't too hard, but he just knew how to pitch. And that's what it was. He shows it here, man. He was nasty. He was one of the best teammates I've ever had. I mean, he's just a good guy.
But unfortunately, things didn't go well after he left the mound because you're up 4-0 going into the bottom of the ninth, and somehow, some way, the Hawkeyes were able to rally in this one. A 4-run lead in the ninth, gone, and the game goes to extra innings.
When I tell you, like, I felt it coming. Like, you can feel it coming. Like, I don't know, like, we were winning, and he came out the game, and you're just in the outfield. They get one hit, and it's like, oh, man, not again. And once they just got, like, they just kept rallying these hits, and you're just like, oh, no, we're going to blow it. We're still up, and we just, at least myself, just being honest, I was like, we're going to blow it.
So then we go to the 10th inning, and this game comes to an end, and the Hawkeyes win it 5-4. So you go from the ultimate high on Wednesday. You come from behind, beat Michigan, and all of a sudden this happens. What is going on in the dugout now for the Ohio State Buckeyes?
No one panicked at all. No one panicked. It was upsetting, but no one panicked. And then we go play Michigan again.
You do, and you play them later on that night. Now, this is where the weird really started to roll in to the 2016 Big Ten tournament. Not only did they have weather issues throughout this week, which is not foreign to the Big Ten tournament, but when this one started, the light standard went out. And when that went out, you had a nice dark area of that field that wasn't safe to play in for a while.
Right.
So the weirdness begins with this, and then it just continues as Michigan jumps out on top early in this ball game with 2 runs in the first.
Yeah, that was scary. I mean, just because I was scared. I mean, we're playing Michigan again. They're a good team. And we keep beating them, but it's like, man, how do you beat a team 5 times in a row? You just – like, in baseball, it's hard, you know? And that was just kept in the back of, like, my mind at least. You know, probably not the team's mind, but my mind. I was like, how do you do it, you know? And, man, we came out and did it.
So you've got the first inning down 2-0, but then here come the Buckeyes again, and here comes that man again, Ronnie Dawson with the good swing into right field. You guys put 5 on the board in the first inning.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It was like, all right, they come back, and we're just not – no one panicked. You know what I'm saying? It was just, all right, someone they punch us, punch them back. You know, you hear it all the time, and it's just like we didn't lay down at all. And that was big. I think that first inning was big for us, not just for that night, the whole tournament. Because when we knew when back against the wall early, you know, we're going to fight. We're going to keep fighting, you know.
Now, let's delve into this for a second. We haven't talked about it yet, but from what I understand, there's quite a rivalry between you and Michigan. Did that ever play into this as you're playing them? Did you guys ever talk about that?
Oh yeah. It was we got heated when we swept them at our place. It was kind of heated. Yeah, for you get college baseball. It really wasn't nothing serious, but you know, we're all, you know, jawing out, fight each other. Then, you know, it would be a little tension, you know, like Ohio State. It's not as big as football, of course, but it's still a little Ohio State, Michigan. And it's like, all right, I want to have that, you know, that number on them. And it played for me in pro ball because I played with 2 of those guys on that team. And, oh, man, I let them hear it all the time.
Oh, I bet you do.
And it's like they had nothing to say. I mean, you can they strike me out now if I'm like, hey, we still accept you guys 5 times. So, whatever.
So then second inning comes along. You guys are up 5-2, and Omaha's skies open up. And it is pouring rain, and they say, that's it. The lights are going out. The rain's falling. We're suspended. We'll see you Saturday. So here comes Saturday, and here comes Ronnie Dawson at the plate. Game suspended during your at-bat. So this is the first at-bat after the rain suspension. First pitch, game resumes in the bottom of the second inning with the Buckeyes up 5-2. And it doesn't take you long before lefty versus lefty turns into a double again for Ronnie Dawson.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it was just that my prep work I was doing. I mean, I was just really locked in. It was just nice and simple. Don't do too much, and that's where I get too excited sometimes. I see what I can do, so I try to do it all the time. And I think I got to force it, and I didn't have to force it. But I wasn't trying to force it then. You know, I was just trying to win. I was just trying to win and do whatever I can for that team. And
well, we're seeing a sign how hot you are because you missed that fastball. You were mad because you wanted that and you fouled it straight back.
Right.
Because you're quiet at the plate, you're locked in, and then boom.
Right, yeah. And I'll just stay on it and can hit a slider or hit a lefty slider, and that's when I'm doing good.
So a 5-2 lead would eventually grow to 11-4, and in the ninth inning, this would make the game-ending double play. Game over. Buckeyes win 11-4.
Not gonna lie, I got nervous in that last inning because it was 11-4, but they got guys on base, and I did not like guys going base late. I did not like it because it did not play well for me. Usually, you know, we'll be up, and it's just like, oh, gotta get on base. But I'm telling you, after this, man, our pitching staff it was unreal.
Because of the rain and the lights and everything else, you don't get to go back to the hotel. You don't get to do anything. You stick around because you've got to get ready to play Michigan State now, turning this around to get back to the Spartans. You guys had the roughest road in this tournament. You get Wednesday, and then you have the day off Thursday, and then everything just gets compressed into 3 days. And as a reminder, you're entering every game knowing that a loss ends everything for you. And there, of course, is a pretty big moment for you. Walk us through this game-winning home run in the top of the 10th inning. This was the decider for Ohio State in this 3-2 game that went 10 innings. You guys beat Michigan State, and you do it with the big swing.
Yeah, I mean, I was honest. I mean, just going back looking at it, it's crazy. I was honest, just trying to hit the ball right back up the middle. You know, just trying to drive the ball up the middle, and it's just, you know, it was a hanging breaking ball, and I just stayed through it. You know, fastball, I probably hit that ball, you know, left center line drive, but it was just a breaking ball. You know, my swing played well enough, and it stayed through it.
What sticks out to me at the top is none of these hits are cheapies. You're squaring up everything, and at clutch times. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Man, I telling you, I go back to, so it's a funny story. My fiance now, before I left, this was right when we met. So she says she has a part of it because I have no clue. Of course. I have no clue what I'm telling you. I didn't know how I was hitting so well. You know, usually I do it like for a couple games, you know, but the whole tournament. But I was really just at a calm spot, and I was trying to win. That's all I wanted to do. I know this could be my last year. Wanted to get drafted. You know, the draft was coming. So I want to win. I want to get some per diem. You know, I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out in a tournament. And once we were hot at that time. So not trying to worry about the outside stuff. Trying to win for my team.
Sounds like it's a good thing you're marrying this young lady. Because she's the spark to this whole thing.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
This is a great segue, though. You mentioned the Major League Draft. What were scouts saying to you before this tournament about where you might go or where you were slotted?
I was like 4th or 5th round, so that's all I was thinking. And everyone kept saying, "Oh man, you showed everyone a lot. You might be hired." I'm like, okay. But then after the regional, they were like, "Man, no, you really impressed a lot of people on the national television." And I was like, you know, I didn't know. It was just, you know, it was just awesome that I did it I was blessed enough to do it at the right time. You know, it's all about who sees you, and I got hot at the right time.
So Sunday morning comes, you're at the ballpark early, and it's Michigan State again. Take us back to that Sunday where you knew you wanted to play a doubleheader.
We were like, all right, we don't care no more because everyone counted us out. Or we counted ourselves out, honestly. And we were like, man, let's just keep playing, having fun. And that's what we were doing. We were playing 2 games a day, and it was like we were loving it. And that's what, it was such a great time. And always, a blessing to go back and look at it.
Well, let's go back and look at some of the action from this Sunday morning matchup against Michigan State. And it's a double steal. You get the running game going here a little bit. 97 team steals. This breaks the single-season record for Ohio State, and the throwing error gets a run on the board. A little pressure put on that Spartan defense. But it wasn't just the running game that you guys relied on. You used some terrific defense in this game. Trey Gant with a catch that was the best play in the country this day.
Yeah, my boy Trey, man. Oh, yeah, he's an athlete, man. Oh, man, our outfield that year, we have a lot of fun. We're always race to see who's the fastest and stuff like that. Always competing. And, getting something down in that outfield was hard, and that's what we took pride in.
Well, and let's talk about your work in the outfield then, because not only is Trey in right making some plays, we don't want to leave you out of the defensive showcase because you're making some plays in left here in this ball game. Look at Ronnie Dawson on the run and then the little tumble.
See, now I look at it and I'm like, oh, man, I didn't have to die for that. But I want to, because Trey just did that, and I was like, I want to be on ESPN, so hey.
Well, the final out would nestle into your glove here, capping off the win 7-3 over Michigan State. One more.
Yep.
One more win needed, right?
Oh, yeah. And we're like, at this point, I'm like, man, we can do it, man. Yeah, got a little dancing. Yep. Oh, man. We were hot. And it was just like, no one can beat us, man. We were like, we knew it. And got Iowa. And it was crazy because there was no one at this game. It was nobody in the stands. Mm-hmm. Nobody in the stands. We got the axe. The
battle axe with one more win for a championship. So you run, you play defense, you had enough offense in that game, and you needed one more. And it was against an Iowa team that we saw earlier had come from behind in the 9th inning, down 4-0 to tie. They'd win it in the 10th inning. You guys are coming into this thing. Are you thinking anything about that previous game, or are you just thinking we got to figure out how to get enough energy to play 9 more innings?
Yeah, we're just like, all right, let's, we don't care. We're like all relaxing in the inside in the clubhouse, and we're like, all right, we're going. You can even see it in the background. It was it was nothing in that first game. All right, let's go out, and we see all this yellow, and we're like, what the heck is going? Like, what just happened? And like, it was surreal. Like, I didn't understand where did all those people come from? We was only in there for 15 minutes. All those people just came, and it was like, okay, let's go. I know we all fed off that energy, and it was exciting. And those fans helped us, I think.
Well, let's pick up the action in the 7th inning. It's a 5-4 ball game at this point. Runner at first. You're at the plate. This is another double coming up. Big Ten doubles record here. 6 doubles in the tournament. And walk us through this moment, again, against a left-hander.
Yeah, I had no clue. I'm telling you, I had no clue what I didn't even know, I had that many doubles. I would thought that was an error. That's what I thought. I was like, that's an error. Shoot. Because it died, So I didn't realize how good. I was just getting on base. We were getting on. And I was just passing it to the next guy. That's what I was trying to do. Pass it to the next guy. And I don't even think I could go to second right there or something.
Yeah, so now you're going to second. Are you upset that they didn't wave the runner home from third to get you another RBI, or what?
Probably, yeah, I think so. I was like, why are you scoring? I knew, that's ribbies. I knew I understand my ribbies. Everyone was like, get the RBI, get the ribby. I'm like, hey, score him. We're trying to win this game.
Let's jump ahead a little bit now to the 9th inning, because this is where you get another Big Ten tournament record. People who were there watched a lot of history from number 4 in a Buckeye uniform this week. 15 hits in a single tournament. That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. That face right there, I'm telling you, I'm locked in. I'm not thinking about anything. It's just me and that pitcher. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what the catcher was saying, the umpire, if it's a strike or a ball. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to hit the ball at the middle right there. That's all I was trying to do all tournament right there. Where I made contact, that's where, if it flew, farther or not, but that's all I wanted to do right there.
And now Troy Kuhn at the plate. And this is the hit that gives you guys the lead in the 9th inning against the Hawkeyes. And you had a little more energy to get around these bases.
Hey, wait. Oh, man, this is hilarious. But I'll talk you through it. So we're running, and I'm like, I'm scoring right away. I saw this ball. I'm like, Bills, I don't know what he was doing. I was like, I'm going. And I'm like, yes. I throw my helmet. I'm so happy. I throw my helmet, and everyone's like, Ronnie, what are you doing? Like, why are you – I'm just so excited. I'm like, that was it right there. You know, that's what we needed.
But you are so tired. I'm sure
you're
like,
helmet, though.
There goes the helmet.
He's like, why'd you throw your helmet? I said, I had no clue. I think I broke. I was like, if I had another at bat, I would have to use someone else.
2 down, 3-2 pitch, bottom of the 9th. And to shortstop to end it. And the Buckeyes are Big Ten tournament champions after one of the most grueling back and forth runs to get a title in Big Ten history. And the glove goes where the helmet went, the hat too. Everything's off. Helmets, gloves, hats. It's all gone from Ronnie Dawson.
Yeah, I didn't want to jump in the dogpile. I was like always bigger than everyone. So I'm like, if I jump, I'm gonna hurt somebody, you know. So I just did a little pat, but I was like, oh man, it was so. Oh man, I was waving by. So man, those fans was wearing me out all game, all game. Dawson, I'm just like, oh my God, why? I'm just, and I'm one of those guys that, you know, I try to interact with the fan. Hey, how you doing today? You know, hey, you know, if I'll throw a kid a ball, and man, they would let me wear it, and oh man, I was just like, see guys, thanks for coming. Oh, man, I was so excited, man. It was fun. It was a fun time.
And most outstanding player was you, obviously. I mean, you had an amazing week. I have to ask you this because you've played baseball your whole life, and you're still playing now in the Houston Astros organization. People see this and they kind of go, oh, look at that. How difficult is it to recapture magic like that in a given moment?
Oh, man, that's hard. I'll treasure that time forever, and so thankful. You know, I had those group of guys that whole year. I mean, they pushed us. Everyone pushed each other. The coaches pushed each other. They pushed us to be better every day, and I wouldn't be the ball player I am if I wasn't there.
Now, Ronnie, have you thought back on what that week meant to you personally? You vaulted up the draft boards.
Yeah.
And then what it's led to now.
Yeah. I was talking to my fiance before here. She's like, yeah, it's so crazy. That moment, like, propelled your career. And I don't think about it like that. And I'm like, man, it really did. And sometimes I think about it, but, like, it's just crazy because, you know, the opportunities I get now is because of that time.
You were literally just like, I can't move anymore.
I was so tired. I mean, we're like, all right, we're done. Then we're like, oh, okay, we got to go to the regionals. We're like, but we played our hearts out. I mean, that just shows, you know, putting it all out, you know, in the fall, you know, all those sprints and all those long nights, you know, going to the cages when no one's there, you know, stuff. I mean, all the stuff I did when I was a little kid, you know, that's just come to fruition, you know, at a time that I don't even, you know, realize it, you know. But it's just awesome, you know, seeing, you know, paying off.
As we move on through this, catch us up to where Ronnie Dawson is from these moments in 2016 to what you're doing right now.
Oh, man. So from then, you know, I got drafted in the second round, and it was an eye-opener. It was like, okay, now – because I didn't play a lot of baseball, like, you know, competitive baseball. So I never knew how good I was. You know, I didn't know where I stood with everyone. You know, I go to college, I'm playing, I'm like, okay, but it's still SEC. I don't know where I stand. You know, I go to the Cape, do okay, but, like, can I sustain that pitching? You know, so I'm not knowing, and I get to pro ball, and I struggle a little bit. And I'm like, oh, you know, it's been exciting. It's been, you know, kind of hard. You know, I want to do better than I have been, but this time has been, you know, such a great lesson for me. You know, I'm rather do this now than hopefully when I get a chance to go to the big leagues and struggle then. I know these lessons I got now can teach me for, you know, in the future.
Now, Ronnie Dawson, former Ohio State Buckeye, now member of the Houston Astros chain, trying to work his way up to the big leagues and in the auxiliary camp right now in Corpus Christi, waiting for his shot at the next level. Ronnie, this has been so fun to look back at what was just an amazing week for you and for your Buckeye teammates. Now I feel like you're just going to go back and watch these highlights over and over again and recap.
I was about to say that. I mean, I'm about to watch that right now because I forgot about those swings, man. I'm like, man, I was good. That's the video I need to be watching. You know, when I was nice and simple, didn't have all, you know, all this attention. You know, it was just, you know, go in the cage and do some flips and lock in. So Yeah, I appreciate you guys for helping me out.
No. It's been our pleasure, Ronnie. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the moments you gave us in 2016. I'm anxious to see those moments in a Houston Astros uniform very soon, and we'll Scott and I will take full credit when you get up to the big leagues and start hitting home runs. It'll all be because of this Big Ten video recall.
Yep, exactly. You know, video, go through the swing, break me down, and appreciate it, you know.
Hey, Ronnie, best of luck to you. We sure appreciate you joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Ronnie.